Hello and welcome. If this is your first time here, I'm Garth Allen. This is Racing News Now, and we are joined today by the newest driver for Nice Motorsports, Mr. Dean Thompson. How's it going today, man?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. So, first off, before we get into talking about Kansas, let's just talk about how you got hooked up with Nice as a whole, because this seemed like it just kind of came out of the blue. How did you get hooked up with Nice Motorsports?
Yeah, me and Carson became buddies pretty recently. So when I decided it was time to start moving up the ladder, and I thought me and my team thought I was classified enough to be able to move up to the next level. We started looking at different people, and we just thought best fit that it was going to be Nice. Carson actually brought it up to me. He offered. He was like, "Hey, this might be a good fit for you. Told it up to you. Just give it a try." And so I went over and I talked to Cody Efa, and we had a good time. We spent 3 hours there just talking to him. It was the longest time we had with anybody else that we talked to. And me and everyone else got together and we're like, I think this is the best fit. I think this is going to be good for us. It's just all our values align. How they operate, I think, is better than most. So I feel like Nice was I felt like the Nice was the best fit for us, and I still feel like that.
So let's talk about Kansas now. Your first time on a big track in real life. I'm sure you've done stuff like that in iRacing and things like that, but first time you've been on a big track in real life growing up, coming through the short track ranks, what was it like your first experience there on a big track?
I mean, dude, it's just the minute I got out of the car, I couldn't stop telling people how quote unquote gnarly it was. I never used that word, but that
Yeah.
was gnarly. That was truly gnarly. Just the raw speed of Kansas, and it's just the off throttle time is just so minimal, and you're hauling butt with so much downforce, and you feel like you shouldn't be going that fast, but you are. And that was just practice. I mean, and that was just practice. So, I mean, when it came to race time, we were on the bottom. The bottom seemed to be the fastest when you were in clean air on newer tires, but I started working my way up towards the top, and that was again the gnarliest experience I've ever had. My first gnarliest experience, my second gnarliest experience are both in the same weekend, in the same day, and we so we were running the fence and just feeling the air pack between the quarter panel and the quarter panel in the wall, and just running the fence on older tires was just surreal. It was just so surreal how you could push the car to that limit and it'd take it, and you just drive it off. And we might have finished eighth, but our legitimate speed was like a top four, top three car.
So let's run through the day as a whole. You talked about how gnarly it was there in practice. You were 10th fastest in practice for your first time on a big track. A little bit more off in qualifying, qualified 12th, and then bounced back to 8th. Had legitimate speed there. You may have been a lap down, but most of the field was a lap down at one point in that race. So I don't know that was so much a detriment as it is in some other races. But with ending up in 8th, that is, I did the research, and that is the second best finish a Nice car has done in ARCA this year, to Carson's 4th place finish at Watkins Glen. So a great run all around for you at Kansas. Just talk about your race as a whole and how you ended up in that 8th place finish.
Yeah. So we started off a little tight. We were just minding our P's and Q's, I'm not running for the championship. I'm not running for points. I'm just there for trophy hunting, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna barrel it off into turn one and try and win the race in the first lap. And you never want to do that, but I mean, I was just, a little more conservative than I normally am. So we were just minding our own business, trying to figure out the air, because it's a big aero track, and I had never really experienced the aero like that. I had been to Phoenix, but I wasn't really in a big pack much to experience the aero. So when I got to Kansas, just feeling the air change how your car handled was such a surreal and weird experience that it's hard to explain. It's for example, I was rolling the high side and no, what not the high side. I was rolling the middle of the high side, just a lane and a half down to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And Roger Caruth, sends it inside and he starts sliding up. Well, when he starts sliding up earlier than I am because I'm on the higher side, and he starts sliding up earlier than I am, and you feel as a driver, you feel yourself being able to make the corner because
Mm-hmm.
before you get to the exit of the corner that you're going to make it or you're not going to make it, right?
Right.
Well, obviously, I felt like I was going to make the corner. Well, as Raja stood up in front of me, that feeling went away like that. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm way too tight. I'm way
Mm-hmm.
too tight. And so I lifted out the gas big time for like 3 or 4 seconds, and I still tapped the wall just a little bit, not a lot. But I mean, just how the car shoots towards the wall the minute a car gets in front of you because of dirty air was a weird experience, but it was a learning curve for sure. So like I said, we started off the race a little tight, especially in dirty air. I couldn't really get any passes done until we started moving a lane up, and it was really the game of just finding clean air when you're trying to pass somebody. And when I would approach somebody, I had to roll in on the high side to them, catch up to them on the straightaway, and then I didn't really try and pass on the low side because it takes air off of your car
Mm-hmm.
and it installs both of you out. So I wanted to be a lane and a half away from them on the top, and so I'd roll the top side all around the majority of the cars I passed. So when the halfway break came, we loosened it up a little bit and we started running a little faster until final restart. That's final restart was the coolest one. So I started realizing during the race, okay, every single restart, everyone's shooting towards the bottom, right? Everyone's going towards the bottom. That's going to create this big cloud of dirty air. Well, I'm not going to be part of that because I don't want dirty air in my nose. I'm going to try and find clean air. So I said, you know what? I'm not in this to win it, but I'm damn sure going to try. So I went to I said, screw all those guys. I'm going to the top and I'm going to put my nose in clean air. So they all went to the bottom in turn 1, and I just went as high as I could, just as high as I could to get away from everybody. And I'm gaining ground. I'm getting a lot of track position. We were a lap down, but I was passing cars that were laps ahead or laps down, whatever. Well, I was gaining track position until I went into turn 3, and me and Kyle Sieg are buddies, and so we talked a little bit before the race, and so I'm on the top, coming to the checkers. I see Kyle on the bottom, and I know he sees me because he starts working his way up because I can see his car getting loose, but he's intentionally working his way up the track. And man, the minute he got in front of me, I had to lay off the gas big time.
Yeah.
And so he finished 8th, but I talked to Kyle after, and he was like, "Yeah, I might have been mirror driving a little bit, but." I was like, that's not a big deal, man. It's just hard racing, a lot of fun,
Right.
and I feel like we could have come out of there with a better position if, Kyle wasn't such a good driver.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the race is just, I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful to be able to do this kind of stuff. I mean, this race is a whole lot of fun. That's a race I'm going to miss a lot. I just, just the first time out there, feeling all that kind of stuff, feeling that speed, running the wall, being that close to the wall sometimes. I should have wrecked like 4 or 5 times, but when you pack the air between your car and the wall, it just holds you, and you could just hold it wide open, and you just run the wall the entire way around, and it shoots you out of the cannon off the corner. So, I mean, man, that was just it was a really cool race.
So you mentioned dirty air a lot of times in that, and that's something that I hadn't even thought about with your first time being on a big track, is that's probably your first big experience with dirty air. How much did that catch you off guard in that race?
Oh, it caught me crazy off guard when Rod just set up in front of me. That was the first time I experienced it, was when Rod just set up in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally went over the radio after I tapped the wall, and I was like, the car's all right, feels fine. But holy crap, that was weird.
Yeah.
Like, what just happened? And I realized that, okay, the cars act a lot different in dirty air. Like, these people who are talking to me about dirty air aren't lying, they're being truthful. And so I started experiencing dirty air when cars would pass me, or I'd try to get up to a car to pass them. And it was a learning experience from short track racing. Short track racing, it's just the name of the game is enter high, easy in, hard off, exit low, pass. Right. But it's not always like that at aero tracks, Well, if they're on the high side, then you got to enter lower and easier. Well, because you can't enter high because you're going to be in dirty air. So just learning how to set up a pass without using that short track style was a learning curve. It was different. But yeah, that was just the biggest learning experience, was just figuring out dirty air, figuring out how to utilize it, how to keep people behind me from coming up on me, and finding clean air, and I'm trying to pass someone else.
So along with this ARCA race, your deal with Nice is you've also got the truck race coming up at Phoenix here in a couple of weeks. You'll be running double duty for that one, being the West race as well. I assume you'll still be in the 51 for the West race, right? Not a Nice car. Okay. So talk to us a little bit about that truck start. How excited are you for that? What are the emotions heading into that? Are you anxious? Are you worried? Are you excited? Are you all of the above?
No, I wouldn't say I'm anxious, worried, or nervous just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Those feelings don't really come in until it's race day or even race time. I remember playing hockey, and I was always calm, cool, and collected before the game. And but the minute the national anthem would be over, it just butterflies. Just nervousness, butterflies. But the minute the game started, it was gone. So just like in racing, the minute I put my helmet on, the butterflies and nervousness are gone. But as the national anthem ends before I put my helmet on, I'm like, oh, I don't know. But no, just the opportunity to drive a niche truck is such a blessing, such an amazing blessing. I couldn't do this without God, and everything He's done for me and my family and my life. It's just an amazing, super big blessing to be able to do this. Wish I could do it with my grandpa here. Unfortunate he's not able to be here to watch it, but I know he'll be watching over me. So super excited to run the truck race. Super excited to run the West race, and yeah, all the Nice guys have been so good to me. This past ARCA race and spending time at the shop, they've been so good, so awesome to me, and really excited to see what the future holds with them.
Definitely. Well, I think that's all I got for you. So Dean, thanks for coming on and spending some of your time here with us today, talking about Kansas. Congratulations on not just the first ARCA start, but having such a great run at Kansas, and good luck here in a couple of weeks at Phoenix.
Thank you. I appreciate it.